Welcome back, and welcome to day 3. Today, you're going to learn the second element of the M word technique, and it's one of my favorites. It's really simple, but very powerful, and it's called come to your senses. Now, come to your senses is derived from a mindfulness technique, and it's all about pulling the lens of your awareness back. It's about including everything that's happening in the room around you inside of your meditation, instead of trying to put yourself in some like cave or chamber of darkness. Right? I'm assuming that you live in society and that you have a family and that you don't live in a cave with, finger symbols and lavender and incense all the time. So this style of meditation is designed to be integrated into your everyday life. So we want to get really good, even right off the bat, at pulling the lens back and including everything that's happening right now. I believe that meditation and life are so much better when you simply accept what is. If you want to transform something, the first step is accepting how it is right now. And so come to your senses is going to walk through all 5 of your senses, which is going to bring you back into your body and into the right now. And guess where your bliss and fulfillment hang out? Right here, right now. Your stress hangs out in the past and the future, but your bliss hangs out in this moment. And basically every spiritual text has been saying this since the beginning of time, right? What you seek is in you. The kingdom of heaven is within. And that's great to understand that as an intellectual idea, but it's much, much more powerful to be able to experience this tangibly and viscerally every day. And that is what the M word is going to give you. So as you know, you can't move away from a negative. You must move towards the positive. So instead of trying to move away from the past and the future, instead of trying to move away from the stress, we're instead going to use come to your senses to move towards the present moment, towards the right now, and towards our bliss. So the cool thing about come to your senses is that this is something that is going to be a part of your morning routine. You're going to do it as part of the M word technique, but this is also something you could do in your waking state. So if you start to feel some anxiety coming on or some panic coming on, this is a technique you could even use eyes open once you get the hang of it. And like I said earlier, it's actually derived from a mindfulness technique. So before we dive in, I want to get really clear on the difference between mindfulness and meditation, because people are sort of using them as synonyms, and there are some differences. So mindfulness is more of a waking state practice. It's where you're directing your focus, versus what I would call meditation is more of a deep rest. It's like you're flooding your brain and body with dopamine and serotonin, which feels very blissful and very relaxing. And sometimes it almost feels a little sleepy. So mindfulness is more of a waking state, directed focus, and it's actually derived from something that was originally made for monks. Whereas meditation, the style that I teach at Ziva, is more about the lazy man's meditation or the busy man's meditation. And sometimes it looks a little bit like a nap sitting up. It looks a little like this. Right? So it's not great for Instagram posts, but it feels delicious. So this come to your senses is a little bit more like mindfulness. So to begin, I want you to have your back supported and your head free. That's going to be our pretty usual posture here. You don't want to be lying down. You don't want to be, sitting like a frozen statue. And again, I want to remind you that you're absolutely allowed to have thoughts. You might notice that your mind is taking mental field trips. If you want to itch your nose, you can itch it. It's all good. We're just going to start to wake up all 5 of our senses and get really present. All right, friends. So let's dive into the come to your senses technique. And take a moment, tell your roommates that you're about to do a little voodoo. Go find a comfortable place to sit. You could be on a couch, on a chair, on your bed, just back supported, head free. And go ahead and take a minute. I'll wait. I'll just be here, staring at you awkwardly. All right, you settled? Okay, so go ahead and close the eyes. And we'll just take a few breaths to settle in. Inhale for the count of 2. And exhale for the count of 4. This isn't technically part of the M word technique. We're just using it to settle in. Nice, delicious inhale for 2. And exhale for 4. Final time. Inhaling for 2. And exhaling for 4. Noticing that your body's softening, imagining yourself just melting into the chair. And on your next breath, gently tune your awareness to your sense of hearing. So listen for the most prevalent sound you can detect right now. might be the sound of my voice, or maybe there's something happening in your room, or you can hear the traffic outside, or your air conditioner, or a fan. We're just noticing. We're not judging it. We're not trying to make anything silent. We're gently waking up our sense of hearing. What's the most prevalent sound you can detect right now? Really good. And on your next breath, tuning your senses to the most subtle. What's the most subtle sound happening around you? Can you hear the sound of your own breath, or is there a conversation happening on the other side of your house? Again, we're not judging it, we're just noticing it. Almost like we have spidey senses. Really good. And on your next breath, bringing your awareness to your sense of touch. So what's the most prevalent tactile sensation happening for you right now? For most of us, it would be our bums in the chair, or maybe there's a pain in your knee or your heart is racing. There's no right or wrong. We're not judging this. We're just simply waking up our tactile sensation. Really good. And on your next breath, tuning your senses to the subtle sense of touch. What's the most subtle tactile sensation happening for you right now? Can you feel your clothes against your skin? Can you feel the breath as it's coming in and out of the nostrils, or can you feel the hair on the back of your neck? Just really giving yourself permission to be deliciously human. So good. And now, keeping the eyes closed, let's wake up our sense of sight. Maybe it's simply blackness, or maybe you can see the light of the computer or your phone shining through your eyes. Just noticing the most prevalent sight happening for you right now. And then noticing the subtle. Can you see colors happening in your mind's eye? Perhaps the color blue, or maybe you can see the imprint of something you were looking at before you closed your eyes. Beautiful. And on your next breath, we'll move our awareness to our sense of taste. So what's the most prevalent taste happening for you right now? And even though you're not eating anything, there's always some sort of a taste happening in the mouth. Perhaps you can taste your breakfast from this morning or your mouthwash. And then noticing the most subtle. Is your mouth acidic? Is it dry? Is it simply the absence of taste? Good. And then on the next breath, taking a nice deep inhale and really smell what you're smelling. So what's the most prevalent smell happening right now? Can you smell your own shampoo or your own perfume? And then noticing the most subtle. How does this room smell different from your office? Or from the outside? Really good. And now on your next breath, we're going to have a little fun with this, and we're going to start to stack all of these senses on top of each other, starting to wake up a simultaneity of consciousness, again, pulling the lens of our awareness back and waking up all 5 of our senses at the same time. So on your next breath, hear what you're hearing. Feel what you're feeling. See what you're seeing. Taste what you're tasting. And smell what you're smelling. The more present we are in our bodies, the higher quality seeds we're planting for the future, because the present moment is the future in the making. And so waking up our 5 senses gives us a simple but powerful way to bring ourselves into this moment, into the right now. So, one final time, simultaneously, hear what you're hearing, feel what you're feeling, see what you're seeing, taste what you're tasting, and smell what you're smelling. Really good. And taking a moment with your eyes closed to acknowledge yourself, to again give yourself a big internal high five for showing up, for doing the work. And in your own time, whenever you're ready, we can start to slowly, gently open the eyes. Good job. So, like I said, come to your senses is going to be part of the M word technique. You're going to do it each morning, but this is also something you could do in your waking state. Once you get the hang of it, you could actually do it with your eyes open and just take, 10 or 20 seconds. And if you start to feel panicked, or if you notice that you're getting on the speculation train, reviewing the past and rehearsing the future, you can just stop, take a breath, and wake up all 5 of your senses. And just notice what that does to ground you and bring you back into the present moment. Share your experience. What was come to your senses like for you? Was it crazy loud around you? Did anyone interrupt you? You'll find that you learn from each other as much as you're learning from me. So share your experience in the tribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.